guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking onto this video, and please don't forget to subscribe before you leave. So for today's video, I wanted to again use the Conspiracy palette. I have been getting so many requests to do more tutorials with this guy, and I'm nothing but happy to do them for you. So I really felt like delving into my pinkest fantasy today. So this is where I came up with this look. Now I am so very inspired by this Trisha shade here. So I just wanted to make it work, and luckily I love the way that this turned out. So if you want to see how I got this beautiful look, then please keep watching. Okay guys, before we get started with the tutorial, I thought I would mention that today I'm using Jeffree Star Cosmetics Magic Star Concealer in C7 as my eyeshadow base. Now, after I did a review on this concealer, if you missed that video, I will tag it up here. So what I did was a review on the concealer, but it ended up being too light for me, and it was just sitting in my drawer, so I thought, why not find a use for it? So it is my eyeshadow base today, and so far from doing this eye, I absolutely love the way it's performed. So let's get right started. So what I'm going to do is first dip in with a large blender. This is a Wayne Goss 16. We're going to dip into the shade Pigment here. So what I'm going to do is load this up onto my brush and tap off the extra, and we're gonna start by dabbing it onto the corner and then slowly working it through the crease using circular motions as well as windshield wiper motions. Now, I know I say this about all of Jeffree's pinks, but I really mean it when I say this has to be my favorite pink shade he's come out with so far. Before it was Bubblegum in the Jawbreaker palette, but the way that this pink blends, it's honestly such a pleasure to work with. Hopefully he will be doing a big restock of this collection soon. I know it's a permanent fixture in his line, like he will always have this palette, so it's just a matter of how long it takes for you guys to get your hands on it. I sincerely hope you guys do, and if you don't, please remember that I am doing a giveaway, and I'm actually announcing the winner this Friday. I'm so excited. I've gotten so much good feedback from it, and I can't wait to let you guys know who's won. I'm just continuing to work this shade onto the crease. I'm dipping back in just because I want to make sure it's nice and pigmented. And again, I start with dabbing, then circular, then a mixture of rocking back and forth as well as circular motions. You're going to want to keep a majority of the pigment at the corner of the eye here, and when you feel like a good amount of it is off the brush, that's when we start sweeping it through the rest of the crease. Because we are going to be cutting the crease, we want to make sure we get right in here as well so we can still see that beautiful color pop through. Okay, so once we've taken the pink to about here, we're going to dip into Not a Fact here. We're also going to dip in with a smaller blender. This is a Wayne Goss 17. And what we're going to do is load up our brush. Now we want to deepen it up a little bit and get it ready for that beautiful pink shade we're going to lay on top of the lid. So we start by dabbing in the corner here. So just like with the shade above, we're just doing pretty much the same thing but keeping it lower. Just going back in so I can get it nice and pigmented like I'd like. Once we've laid down the Not a Fact, we're going to go back in with that larger Wayne Goss 16 brush, dip back in with pigment, and we're just going to run that over top of what we just laid down, just so that we can make sure it ends up diffusing and blending perfectly like we'd like. Okay, so once we've done that, we're ready to deepen up the corner of the eye just a little bit further. So what I'm going to use for that is my Sigma E36 blender. I'm going to very lightly dip into my rides here, this gorgeous black on the end here. So super lightly and literally dust off the extra off of my brush. What I'm going to do is go into the corner right here, and I'm just going to, in a diagonal motion, from the corner sweep this way on to the lash line. That's where I'm going to initially place the color, and then with very wispy light motions, I'm going to put it throughout the rest of this corner here. So once we've placed that down, we're going to go in again with the Not a Fact shade here. We're going to go with that Wayne Goss 17, the medium blender, not quite as small as the last one, but not the large one either. We're going to go right over top of that black we laid down, and just like we did the other one, we're going to just start to diffuse these two colors together. Okay, so once we've blended that out sufficiently, we're ready to cut the crease. For that, I'm going to load up my MAC 242 with a little bit of that Jeffree Star concealer in C7. So what I'm going to do is do one swipe down, look up, see where that imprints, and start carving. So once we've cut our crease like this, we're ready to place down the shimmer on the lid. And I've been waiting to dip into this color since I got this palette. This is this gorgeous Trisha shade here. I'm going in with a random crown packer brush. I don't have the name of it. I'm gonna load that on, tap off the extra, and I'm just going to dab that on where we placed down the concealer. Okay, so once we've placed that down, we're ready to re-deepen that corner. For that, I'm going to be dipping in with a MAC 239. I'm going to go back into this Not a Fact shade here, load that onto the brush, tap off the extra, and I'm just going to stamp that deeper part where we had originally done. I'm just going to re-amplify that. Once we've re-amplified that darkness there, we're going to dip back in with pigment. And I'm just going to go over top of where the dark and the shimmer meet, just to make sure we have a blend there. And then what I'm also gonna do is dip a little bit back into pigment, really shake it off. And then where we place down that dark shade, I'm just gonna very lightly blend out the edges. Now I'm gonna go back in with that Sigma E36, that super teeny blender that we use to put on the black. Now, I'm not gonna be dipping into any additional black, but I am gonna go in with Not a Fact, very, very lightly. Tap off the extra, and then what I'm going to do is very lightly run that in between where we cut the crease, just to make sure it's nice and bright and really, really makes that cut crease stick out. Now on to the next step. Now, if you are not an extra person and you don't like glitter, then you can absolutely skip this step, throw on some liner and lashes, and this look would be complete once you do the lower lash line. But because I'm extra, I'm going to be going in with two Stila Glitter and Glows. Now these are in the shades Tulip, Twinkle, and Dullish. So what I'm going to do is first take that Tulip Twinkle. I'm going to put some of that Tulip Twinkle shade on the back of a hard surface here. I'm actually going to be dipping in with my finger. I don't want to go in directly with the wand because I want to give an overlay of glitter over top of everything. I don't want it to necessarily be super, super prominent, just like it's like laid over top of the eye look type of vibe. So what I'm going to do is put that onto my finger here and very lightly stamp that on to the eyelid. And if you'll notice, it's just like coating the whole thing versus being like this really, really pigmented wash over top of everything. It's more just like a veil of glitter, if you will. So we're just stamping that on with our finger. And I absolutely love what it does to the eye look. I think it makes it pop and brings it to life. It is so pretty. I'm in love with it. Now I'm gonna go into that Dullish shade of the Stila. Now what I'm gonna do is put this onto a Sigma E46 brush. It's a super tiny, tiny packer synthetic brush. And what I'm gonna do is concentrate this just on the inner corners here. Once that's been placed on, what we're gonna do is just very, very lightly with a Wayne Goss 19, we're gonna run through the crease and make sure none of that sparkle got anywhere near the crease. That's not where we want it. We want it to be on the eyelid. Before I hop off camera to do my lashes and liner, let's quickly do the lower lash line. So for that, I'm going to be dipping into the pigment shade with a MAC 212, and that is a flat, tight liner brush in case you guys didn't know. So what we're going to do is very lightly stamp that on our lower lash line. And then we're gonna go in with the darker shade, Not a Fact, and we're just gonna concentrate that on the outer corners of the eye. After that's been placed on, we're gonna dot back and forth between my pills and pigment, and we're gonna smoke that out. Okay guys, we're ready to throw on our liner and lashes. I'm going to quickly hop off camera and do that. And as per usual, I'm using Too Faced Better Than Sex liner, as well as throwing on a pair of Lily lashes. These ones in particular are called Paris. I will be right back to show you guys the finished look. And this is the finished look. I absolutely love the way this turned out. So after I put on my liner and lashes, what I did was went in with some mascara on the lower lash line as well, went in with a nude liner, which is as per usual my NARS Rue Bonaparte gel liner, which is in this perfect nude shade. If you guys don't know about it yet, stop right now, look it up on Sephora and put it in your cart. You will love this nude liner. But yes, how I completed the look, I went in with this beautiful ranch shade here. I went in with a teeny tiny, I call it my inner corner highlight brush. So I went in there, this is slightly dampened, and I just dotted right there in the inner corner. And that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I absolutely love the way this look turned out. Please guys, recreate it, tag me on Instagram, tag me on Twitter if you do. I'd love to see your looks with the conspiracy palette. And if you haven't already, make sure you enter the giveaway that I'm doing to win your very own conspiracy palette. I will be announcing the winner on Friday on my Instagram, so be sure to enter, and the best of luck to you. And yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, please don't forget to comment, and please don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out when you guys subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye guys!